Hello everybody. Here we'll be discussing about pericardial sinuses. All right. Now what do you mean by a sinus? Sinus means it is a space. Okay, so here we'll be discussing about two spaces, types of spaces found in relation to the heart. So we have two types or two pericardial sinuses. Is uh, one is your transverse sinus, and the second one is your oblique sinus. All right. Now, what is this transverse sinus in the heart? Now, look at this picture. All right. Can you name the structures here? What is it? This is the aorta A. Okay. And what is this? This is the pulmonary trunk. Right. Now, when you dissect, okay, it's not a 3D, it's not three-dimensional. So just imagine that behind aorta and behind the pulmonary trunk, there is a space, a tubular space behind these two structures called as transverse sinus. All right. Now, next is your oblique. So that's what it is shown here. Can you see the hand? Can you see this finger? Not this finger passing behind the pulmonary trunk and the aorta. So that area is called as transverse sinus of your heart. Now we have one more kind of sinus, okay, related to the heart, and that is called as what? Oblique sinus. Now where is this oblique sinus found? See, before that, I will show you another picture. To the left atrium, what drains into the left atrium? The four pulmonary veins drain into the left atrium. Okay, I hope you know how the circulation is going on in the human body, right? The blood from the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava, they come to the, let me draw. Let us say this is a right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. So from the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava, this is inferior vena cava, superior vena cava, the blood is drained into the right atrium. The deoxygenated blood, it goes into the right ventricle, and from here this deoxygenated blood is taken towards your lungs. All right. By what? The pulmonary artery. The deoxygenated blood is taken to the lungs and it gets oxygenated there, and from here the oxygenated blood comes to the left atrium in the form of four pulmonary veins, right? So two from here, two pulmonary vein from right lung, two pulmonary vein from the left lung. They come and drain towards your left atria, and from there the oxygenated blood goes down, and from here to the aorta, and then it goes to the entire body. Okay, so here, can you see this picture here? Okay, can you mark the structures? See, these four structures you see here, these are the pulmonary veins draining into the left atrium. All right. Okay, now what is this? This is the inferior vena cava. This is a superior vena cava. This is the arch of aorta, and this is a pulmonary trunk. This is the inferior vena cava. All right. Now, talking about the oblique sinus. See, this is the left atrium, right? That is why all the veins are draining. The pulmonary veins are draining into this area. That means that area is the left atria. Just behind the left atria, you have a potential space called as what? The oblique sinus. All right. So just behind the left atria, you have a potential space called as the oblique sinus. Now, what is the function of these sinuses? See, I'll tell you. For example, let us say a person has got increased venous return. Okay, it's something abnormal. So in that case, what happens? The blood coming into the left atria will be increased, right? Increased venous return, increased blood goes towards your right atria, from here towards the right ventricle, from here to the lungs, and from there to the left atria. So finally more amount of blood gets drained into the left atria, right, in case of increased venous return. Now what happens more if more amount of blood is entering your left atria? It starts to bulge. In that case, a space should be there to accommodate it, right? So that is why behind the left atria there is a potential space to accommodate the bulging left atria in case there is an increased venous return. Okay, so that space is called as oblique sinus. All right, now I'll ask you a question. Okay, what can you find in front of the transverse sinus? So I told you, what is it? Yes, in front of the transverse sinus, you can find the aorta and the pulmonary trunk, right? Okay, so that's all about the sinuses. Thank you.